and he probably wouldn't have been able to play to the full extent that he did play. You know, he got knocked down, he got tossed around a little bit, but they did such an amazing job, that front seven or that front line, to protect Brady as much as they possibly could.
I want to go a step further. Here's a guy who knows the game. He's a student of the game. He's an offensive coordinator under center, and
Yep.
what he plays like. The fact that he's making decisions, snap decisions, he's not holding on to the ball, he's not putting the team in harm's way. And that, to me, are factors that make for a quality quarterback.
Oh, absolutely. You know, he knows he has to get the ball out of his hands in like 3 seconds.
Right.
Once the ball is snapped, it needs to be gone. And, you know,
And that benefits your offensive line, especially. That really.
Oh, absolutely. In the passing game, for sure. Because when you're going up elite pass rushers, you only have a couple of seconds to hold them off. They're going to eventually get to the quarterback, no matter how good of an offensive lineman you are. They're going to get there, because there's only so much you can do when there's a 300-pound like muscle man coming at you.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, when we look at previous years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it never really came together. The one thing that I will say, that there are intangibles that you really can't put a statistic on, where people are being held accountable. People are wanting to play harder for their quarterback. People are wanting to play harder to win, and they see an opportunity to get to a Super Bowl. And I think that those are things about Tom Brady that you just can't take away. The people in New England know this very well, and I think Tampa has gotten a good dose of that this year. And I expect to see more of that from Tom Brady this year as well.
I mean, I honestly think that's why everyone got signed back. They rallied around this quarterback. And those who were going to get a bag, you know, get big paydays on other teams, were like, nah, I'm going to stay here for my quarterback. I'm going to stay here for Tom and get another ring for him, get another ring for Tampa Bay. And other players will restructure their contract. Even before the 2020 season, players were restructuring their contract just because Tom Brady came and they needed to make some moves so he could come to Tampa Bay. That's how much of a leader he is, and that's how much like faith that players have in him.
And, you know, it didn't take long for the fan base to buy into what Tom Brady was doing.
I mean, absolutely.
Even the worst Tom Brady haters have to admit what he's done to come into Tampa, a team that has just exercised in futility for years, to come in and set this team on, you know, help set this team up to where they can, you know, win a Super Bowl is nothing short of amazing. No. I mean, you look at and again, I want to shout out Jason Light as well. I always do.
Jason Light is amazing. Yeah. He got it done. You know, he's a money genius, a contract wizard. That's what he does. He made magic happen, getting everybody back. And
yeah, and hitting on the draft picks that he did was incredible as well. Hey, Will the Brewer, how you doing? Are you still in Paris? Let me know. And what's the beer over there? What's the top beer over there in Paris? I haven't been to Paris for years. Jeez, it's been about 11 years since I've been to Paris.
Oh, I've never been.
Yeah. But yeah, let me know in the chat, Will. But Tampa is in a really good place. And knock on wood, let's just hope they can stay injury free and get there, you know, just pick up where they left off.
Honestly, that's the biggest thing. Injuries. It's going to come down to injuries. If the Bucs stay healthy, if the key players stay healthy, you know, right, the defense is probably the biggest one. And if most of the wide receivers stay healthy, because there is so much depth in the wide receiver room, if they stay healthy, they have a great chance of going for two.
I think we were blessed with timing. And if an injury had to happen, like to a player like a Vita Vea, when it happened was key. Because he was able to rehab and he was able to get back on the field at the most opportune time and help this team win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, the fact that it happened towards the beginning of the season made it perfect, made it was like a perfect scenario, because once Vita Vea came back from the playoffs, that defensive front seven was unstoppable.
Yeah. And they
You
were
could
all
not get past them, and it was because of that big man, Vita Vea. He makes a difference when he's in there. I remember I was at the game that it was one of the first games that he came back, and he wasn't playing for the first couple of snaps, and then once he was in there, he's just this big guy. You could automatically tell the difference.
Yeah, he's a space
night and day.
And that's exactly what he is. So I wanted to kind of go around. We'll come back. We'll circle back around to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's what this show is about. And this is what you do best, Tampa Sports Bae. And I just kind of wanted to talk about some of the things that are going on in the NFL. We're looking at the NFC South. I want to start there.
Yeah, the NFC South.
And for the longest time, the Bucs have just not done well in the NFC South. The
NFC South has always been like a competitive division, because the Saints have always been competitive, the Panthers have always been competitive, and the Falcons kind of get lucky.
Yeah,
like that's just what the Falcons do. The Falcons get lucky. Either they get lucky or they choke. It's one or the other. So it's always been one of those like competitive divisions in general.
Yeah, and you know what? When you play anybody from the NFC South, Corey Flash, what's going on, man? When you play anybody from the NFC South, it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a hard-fought game. You can't just chalk them up as automatic wins. We saw that last year. Unfortunately, like for the Carolina Panthers, they had injuries to Christian McCaffrey, who I believe if he was healthy, 100% healthy, he would have changed the trajectory of that team 100%. Just from where they were. I believe that if you have a healthy Christian McCaffrey, you beat the Kansas City Chiefs, and nobody can convince me otherwise. I feel like they fell short because they didn't have the depth or the talent on the field to really complete the job.
Yeah, but they really don't have that offensive talent.
Yeah.
Other than, Christian McCaffrey.
Yep. It's going to be interesting this year to see how everything stacks up. So like for you, like for me, I look at, Tampa, of course, you've got Tampa, and then you've got, the Saints. And again, we don't know who the quarterback's going to, we don't even know who the starting quarterback's going to be.
Right. Is it going to be Taysom? Is it going to be Jameis? A combination of the both? Could it be?
It's going to be interesting to see how that all factors in as well. And then you have the Carolina Panthers and Matt Rule. And as Corey mentioned, Sam Darnold, who are all working together to right the ship. Not to take anything away from Teddy Bridgewater, but Teddy Bridgewater just wasn't the answer for the Carolina Panthers. And I feel bad for him. I feel like here's a guy that he didn't have everybody. He was kind of a sitting duck without Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, and he wasn't given like all of the opportunities that he needed. I think Teddy Bridgewater could possibly be a successful quarterback. He's kind of a Cam Newton, Lamar Jackson kind of type. But
I would, I don't know that he's that dynamic, but he's consistent.
No, he's not that dynamic, but I see the potential to possibly be dynamic.
He's consistent, and he doesn't put the team in harm's way on a regular basis. So again, there were games out there where I was like, man, you know what? If they have Christian McCaffrey, they win this game, or they're more competitive. And to be able to play with what they have, and I think they've really kind of upgraded in some positions. I'm not 100% sold on Sam Darnold. Corey Flash, hey, shout out to Corey. Me and him hung out at Press Box for a little bit.
Oh, for real? That's awesome.
While I was in Tampa. So shout out to him. It's one of those things. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, but I think that you've got a lot of players that are buying into what Matt Rule is selling there in Carolina. So when you look at this division, you can't look past any team, maybe Atlanta, but really, I don't know. When you've gotten rid of Julio Jones, and we'll see what their wide receiver room looks like. It's just like night and day. It's like what we see right now for the NFC South did not resemble what we saw last year. So
right, exactly. I think the Falcons are on the brink of a rebuild.
you know what? They need to just go ahead and just tuck it in and just rebuild the team.
Yeah, that's exactly what they need to do. They should have the Matty Ice has melted. He is no longer.
Yeah, he
is no longer. If you want to call him elite, I don't know. He's no longer He's no longer one of those top quarterbacks anymore.
He's a good regular season quarterback.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, yeah, they choke. He just can't. He just chokes and he can't win a game. So I think after this season, this is the season where he has to prove if he's got a couple more years left or if he's done. Because if he doesn't have a winning season this year, then I think this will be the last season for him. In the NFL in general.
He hasn't been right since the New England Patriots game.
That haunts him to this day.
Thank you, Tom Brady. Appreciate it. Thank you.
28-3, right?
Yeah. You know what? It couldn't happen to a better franchise either. And I know everybody is talking about the New Orleans Saints. They don't like New Orleans, but it's me in Atlanta. We ain't friends.
It was always me and the Panthers, just because I don't really like Cam Newton, but now that he's in New England, I don't really care.
Yeah. And Corey, it's interesting you say that. He's talking about Pitts. Pitts will help him. Won't have a running game. I'm curious to see that wide receiver room. I'm kind of curious to see what they do with that wide receiver room, and without Julio Jones. But again, with Julio Jones in and out of the lineup with injuries, they say the best ability is availability. And, we just haven't seen that from Julio Jones on a consistent basis for a while. Again, it's going to be interesting. He's going to have a breath of fresh air in Tennessee.
Right.
But the question will remain, will he stay on the field? Will he be healthy? Will he be able to contribute when they need him on the field? Right,
exactly. Because if he is, you've got Julio Jones and then you've got Derrick Henry to, push some guys around. And then who is their other wide receiver? I forget. AJ. But they have like the big three. They've got Julio Jones, they got Henry, and then they've got that other receiver. I forget what his name is, but so their offense is a force to be reckoned with. But I don't know. AJ Brown. I was gonna say AJ, but didn't want to be wrong. Jones, Brown, and Henry.
Anna Lewis would slap the hell out of me if she knew I didn't remember AJ Brown's name.
Yeah, I wanted to say AJ, but I didn't want to be wrong. So, I think they are definitely a force to be reckoned with as an offensive unit. But I don't know if is Ryan Tannehill is, he's just an average kind of guy. He's not really anything special.
I think he's a guy that doesn't put you in harm's way. Again,
he's just like
a quarterback that doesn't go out there and turn the ball over and put you in a bad position, on a consistent basis. Yeah, it happens, but it's not like what Bucs fans have had to deal with, over the past few years. So
he's average. He's safe. Nothing special, but he gets the job done.
Yeah, there you go. Brad Johnson. Perfect analogy.
Johnson. Nothing special, but gets the job done.
That's right. And you know what? If you're consistent, what do they say? Slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah, consistency is key.
And that's why, they've been doing what they've been doing all these years in that division. So I don't know. It's gonna be again, this is gonna be an interesting season. I want to see if the Saints bounce back from losing at home to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a chance to go to the Super Bowl or advance to the championship. I want to see how they do. Of course, Tennessee is a contender, but you look at the division they're in.
That's just such a tough division. It's the West over the last couple of years, the West has been like on fire as far as football. You got Seattle, San Francisco, Chiefs, and then now Tennessee. I mean, not Vikings, sorry. The Raiders are a wild card. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. It could go either way with them. But they're definitely the Raiders are always a threat to the Chiefs for some reason. The Chiefs
yes, absolutely.
The Chiefs just do not do well when it comes to the Raiders.
But that's been like before. That's like been before history. That was like
that was when the divisions were made. Like that's how it's always been.
No, but all joking aside, that's going to be a fun division to watch. People keep forgetting about the Denver Broncos over there and what they can possibly do, and it's just when you play a team twice a year on a regular basis. I mean, it's always going to be tough because they know your tendencies, they know what you can do, and it just makes for a fun game all the time.
Right. It's always hard to beat them twice, which is a shocker that the Saints beat the Bucks twice last season, but I definitely don't know I think they might win one of the games. But that's going to depend on how they come out. I'll have to see, what.
I'm not 100% sold on their defense, the Saints defense.
No, definitely not. They're not very strong. And then, I don't know who the quarterback's going to be. Is Jameis going to come out and be the star that everyone thought he was going to be? Or is Taysom Hill going to take over and actually become a quarterback and not just like a utility knife? So,
yeah, again, I just don't see Taysom Hill as a quarterback on a regular basis. What is he? I think he's 30, 31, something like that. He serves best as that wild card coming on the field as an offensive weapon.
Yep.
Whether you line him up in the slot, whether you put him under center, whether you put him at the running back position, whether you put him at the tight end position, he can do so much to hurt a defense. And I think that's where he belongs. I really believe that when you take away a Taysom Hill, you're hurting your offense because you've taken away a weapon that and now defensive coordinators can game plan for your offensive weapon now. So to me, I just don't see the logic in having Taysom Hill under center for the whole season. It just doesn't add up to me.
Yeah, definitely.
And
so
Cannabis, I 100% agree with you. That quarterback over for the Los Angeles Chargers is going to be incredible.
Yep.
And I tell you what, man, they are going to be that sleeper team. I think they've quietly built some things up, and they're going to be somebody to look out for. And you don't sleep on them and think you're just going to come in and get a win against the Chargers, because this team, they're going to be ready this year.
No, I mean, Justin Herbert put up a fight last year in a lot of games. They didn't have the best record, but they were all close games. And I definitely think, they have a chance at being somewhat of a contender for sure. But like we said earlier, the West, that division that they're in is a tough division in general.
AFC West has always been tough.
Yeah.
And when you stay in that side of the country, you talk about the NFC West. That's another tough division. And you don't know how they're going to beat the hell out of each other, basically. As far as I can tell. And I mean, you
the
can't
wild west out there.
Yep, you can't count out the Seahawks. You can't count out the 49ers. You can't.
I think you can count out the 49ers.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Again,
do you think Jimmy Garoppolo is the real deal?
No, I think they'll move on from him. I hope they have a quarterback competition, because I've never been a fan of Jimmy Garoppolo's. I've never thought he was the legit deal. I thought he benefited from winning. It's kind of the Matt Castle effect. Matt Castle was what came in and played for a while, and he did good and he looked good and he was in this Patriots offense. Then he was able to go out and get a contract, and but it just wasn't consistent. So there is that.
Right. So it'll be so for the 49ers, it'll be a competition between Jimmy Garoppolo, the rookie Trey Lance, and then Josh Rosen. but I don't think Josh Rosen would be really a competition. It'll be mostly between Garoppolo and
you say that. I don't know how good he is.
who?
Josh Rosen. He's never been on a team long enough to set, to show what he's capable of doing.
Who was he with?
Because he was with the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, okay.
With the Cardinals, and the coach that drafted him got fired.
Okay.
He ended up in Miami.
And I remember he did a decent job in Miami.
Yeah, but he ends up he ends up not being able to start because of Tua. So then he comes to Tampa, and then the Niners pick him up and bring him on over, and it's crazy.
Yeah, he's just one of those quarterbacks that's just always kind of that could have the potential, but we don't really know. So he just kind of sits in the background. That'll definitely be interesting. That'll be an interesting dynamic between those three quarterbacks. If you do Garoppolo, Rosen, or little rookie Trey Lance. There's a lot of rookie quarterbacks that are gonna get a chance to start in the league right here.
Yeah, and it's just crazy. And this is a really good article by David Bonilla of Bleacher Report. He was 49er Web Zone, and he was kind of talking about that. And he's talking about with the quarterback depth, you got Jimmy Garoppolo, you got Trey Lance, and I don't know. It's looking like it may have Garoppolo start week 1.
Yeah.
And beyond that, you may see Trey Lance is going to, be nipping at his heels, I'm sure. And
I think it'll be more of like an experimental season, like in the beginning, trying to see who fits where, and then, not necessarily a full-on rebuild, but just seeing what works.
Right. So, again, I would love to see him have competition because you want the best player available to be on the field. I've always said that it's not about fan favorites or anything like that. It's just whoever the best guy is going to be that guy.
I mean, exactly. That's what's going to happen in New England as well, because you have Cam Newton and then you have Mac Jones, the rookie. So you got to decide who is going to be your guy in the long run. So, right now it's looking like Cam Newton will probably start, but if he doesn't do well, then Mac Jones will step right in there. Bill Belichick has no problem benching Cam Newton because he did it last season.
Yeah. So do you see Cam Newton holding his starting position this year, in your opinion?
I don't think so. I think Mac Jones has a lot of potential.
Yeah, I hate that word, but
I know you hate that word. You hate it. I'm sorry. I think Mac Jones will definitely come into his own. I think Cam Newton is on his way down. Like, he had his start, his fame, he had his talent. He got injured. He left Carolina. I think he has kind of lost it, and I don't know if he will ever be at the same level that he was when he was with Carolina.
And I just wonder if really him being there was a good fit to begin with.
Where, in Carolina or in New England?
In New England.
Yeah, I always thought that was a strange move because of the way.
It may have been the only one, but yeah, I know what you mean.
No, I thought it was a strange move for sure because, you look at Belichick and who his quarterback was forever, which was Brady, and then you look at Cam Newton, they're completely different quarterbacks. They're not the same guy. So either Belichick is trying to work around Cam Newton, or Cam Newton's going to have to completely change who he is. And, right, you can't change that style of quarterback. So I don't see it going well. Mac Jones is the style of quarterback that Bill Belichick is used to, that sit in the pocket and throw the ball.
Yeah.
And then, the screen passes and things like that. Whereas Cam Newton is, he's shotgun and out of there and wanting to run and do things like that. So I think that Mac Jones will definitely take over.
Yeah. Misador, I agree with you. He says Trey Lance will start by week 4.
Yeah.
I can see that. I just and Manny, I'm gonna kind of go back to this point right here. Manny was talking about He was one pass from winning the Super Bowl. It can't be that bad. That defense that the Niners had, they were balling at the time, and I think he was just all he had to do was just stay out of the way. And I
Right.
think that's kind of where he fit in that team. It wasn't like he's leading that team and they're going to win. He's going to put the team on his shoulders and they're going to win. I think that defense had a bigger part in the success of the Niners at that time. And I really do believe that, ultimately I think he's on his way out the door. I think he will be one of those journeyman quarterbacks that, kind of bounces around. And, I don't want to put him on Fitzmagic level, but you know what I mean? Not to say they're the same or they're going to go the same trajectory. I'm just saying he's going to bounce around the league and, he'll get opportunities, and I just kind of have to see what he does.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Bud Cannibalists, I agree with this as well. Mac Jones will start after the loss to TB12. I can see that happening.
Yeah, Belichick will be so mad. He'll just be like, Brady, in his voice. He'll be pissed. Bill Belichick is going to be pissed.
Yeah. And Misador, I agree with this too. Belichick spent a fortune this offseason just to see Cam Newton succeed. Did
we spell Belichick?
Yeah, and he spelled it
right.
Love
it. Never seen it, but I love it.
No, I still hate New England. I'm glad we got Tom Brady. I hate New England. I am not even going to lie about it.
Yeah.
I'm glad Cam Newton's there. Let him do that. See his Superman stuff over there and stuff. I'm good with that. Yeah. Or Hello Kitty or whatever he does, Oh
my God. What he wears is insane.
Yeah,
he's been hit too many times.
I'm not gonna get on his style. I just like the guy's a front runner. When he's winning, he's celebrating. When he's losing, he's got a towel on his head, and none of that's changed.
Yeah.
So again, this is one of those guys like Donovan McNabb. Whatever. So real curious, are you going to be watching the Olympics by any chance?
Yeah, I'll probably be watching some of the Olympics. I always do. I like track and field. I used to run track when I was in school. I'll watch gymnastics. Everybody watches gymnastics. That's like the highlight of the Olympics. And then, I'll watch swimming. And you know what sport I really like that's very strange? Water polo.
I can't figure out the rules. Is it like
hockey? Basically hockey.
It is. So it is hockey
in the water.
I like it.
But with the volleyball.
I'm impressed.
Yes.
I can get with this.
So it was, I think, 2 Olympicses ago. So that's Olympicses? 2 Olympic seasons ago that I was just, flipping through channels trying to find, something to watch. And I put it on and I was like, water polo. This is amazing. Like, it's hockey in the water with a volleyball.
There are some cool sports though in the Olympics. I mean, like the Winter Olympics. What's that thing where you got the broom and you broom the
curling?
I
like curling. Oh, and volleyball, beach volleyball is always fun.
Yeah. But
I'm just excited for the Olympics to happen.
I think the big draw for me is going to be the women's basketball team, the U.S. women's basketball team, or the women's soccer team. Either one.
Yeah.
Because they're really where I'm hoping that they get gold. Everybody else,
of course. I mean, we want USA to come out on top. They almost always do. So.
Well, except for the men's basketball team, which I don't even expect them to medal.
No, definitely not. But yeah, U.S. women's soccer team on top. U.S. women's basketball team, best. Women run the world. Get that right. Women's gymnastics team.
I'm not going to argue because
women's gymnastics team win gold all around.
I have never sat down and watched men's gymnastics. That's horrible.
Yeah, it's not as. I mean,
I don't mean to sound sexist.
No.
Anyway, and I'm not trying to come off that way, but it's just a lot more exciting when you see somebody come off the balance beam and it's just like, wow.
Yeah,
that's incredible. or the rings or the floor
Well, the guys do the rings, and I like the double bars. I forget what they're called, but the
Yeah,
men do the
not the
rings,
parallel
which
bars,
that's
not the
cool.
parallel bars, but the it's not the parallel. Is it the parallel bars?
Yeah, where they're like
Yeah,
swinging from bar
yeah,
to bar.
yeah. I like I said, I just women's gymnastics is just so much more intriguing, and I think the way they build it up is a lot more. I don't know if you want to say entertaining, but it is. And
Yeah, because it's always, it's the Chinese versus the Russians
uneven
versus
bars.
USA, it's always got to be it's always a competition between like the big three.
Yeah. So again, I promised myself I'm gonna try to find a sport that I haven't really watched or followed for the Olympics and just like follow it. So
Water polo. I
yeah,
check it out.
I'm thinking water polo or archery, maybe even. Is
Mm.
archery still a sport?
Archery, I think so, or diving. Diving is pretty cool too.
Diving's crazy because you have to be like precision.
Oh
Now,
yeah, you have to be in a straight
men's
line.
diving is crazy.
They take off points if you do too big of a splash. Like what? You got to be perfect.
So I can't work on my cannonball, I guess, is what they're telling me.
No, can't. I don't think they like cannonballs.
That needs to be a sport right there.
Yeah, I bet.
Men's cannonball right there.
You go on a cruise ship, they have the cannonball contests. I think that would be a good one for you.
Yeah, you drink as much beer as you can and just cannonball. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
We did miss you though at the Lightning game when we were over at the Anchor hanging out.
The Lightning. I mean, watching all the Lightning games this off season has just been incredible, and I'm starting to feel like the depression now. It was the same thing after the Bucks won the Super Bowl. It was like, like all this hype. They won the Super Bowl, and then you had the parade, and then now it's like, what do I do now?
But so you still have the Rays, and you still have the Lightning right after the Bucks won, and
right. So right now, the Lightning, they won, and you have all that hype, and then
did they fix the cup?
They fixed the cup. It's in New Jersey with Ross Colton right now in his hometown. It's going to be making its rounds to wherever. They don't tell you where. I need to find it. I need to find the Stanley Cup.
You need to put a GPS tracker on it or something.
When someone puts a GPS tracker on it, I will find it.
There we go.
I need to find it. But I went to the boat parade. Tampa and boat parades are just like the best thing that could ever happen.
It's unique.
Championships.
I mean, you can't go to Kansas City and get one. You can't go to New Orleans and get one.
No.
You probably could, but
ew. No. In the swamp.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of where else could you go and have a legit boat parade. I guess New York, maybe. New York.
Yeah, in the harbor. But you know what?
No, it's not the same.
No. In Tampa, and I think there should be a monthly boat parade just to celebrate whatever we want. It doesn't have to be really anything. We should just have the boat parade once a month.
I am counting down to Gasparilla. That is I will be at Gasparilla.
The only thing that compares to a boat parade is Gasparilla because it's just as fun. I wonder if they will incorporate more of a boat parade aspect this year to Gasparilla instead of like a street parade. Kind of have both,
That would be nice.
That would be interesting.
That would be nice if they did that. I think that would be a good twist. I would get out on the water. I've never had a problem doing that before. So definitely out there. We were out on me and Ruth. We went to watch it, Ruth the Truth. And, shout out to Ruth the Truth.
Yeah, shout out to my girl. And
I was so jealous of you guys. I was calling you names under my breath and everything.
I
had to work.
You should have waited a week and come back.
I know.
But it was an absolutely amazing experience. And then, they were supposed to have a celebration at Julian B. Lane Park afterwards, but it got rained out, but it was still absolutely insane. We partied Tampa style. Like
that's what you do.
Beautiful and sunshiny 1 minute, and then, pouring down rain. Every time there was a lightning strike, people would cheer just because we're the Lightning. Every time there was thunder, people would cheer. It was awesome.
It's crazy, but that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm. And the players were loving it. The players are just unbelievably happy. And, they're going to go into the same kind of situation that the Bucks went into as far as trying to re-sign everyone because of the cap, and then the expansion because of the Seattle Kraken is going to be a new NHL team.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about
Not a fan?
No, Seattle, man. Whatever. I'm just happy when I got to Tampa, growing up and just living there, and just over the years, you saw Cowboys jerseys, you see, New Orleans Saints jerseys, you saw Panther jerseys, you saw all different kinds of jerseys. But coming to Tampa, seeing Rays jerseys, seeing Bucks jerseys, seeing Lightning jerseys, and seeing very, very few of any other team in Tampa, it excited me to see that. And I think that's what it makes you proud to either live in Tampa or be from Tampa. Just when you see stuff like that, and everything's coming together. Again, winning covers a multitude of sins, and I tell you what, you can tell a big difference with Tampa, with the attitude of the people, and it was just exciting. I mean, we started out at Amalie Arena, and we were looking for a place to watch the game. So we went over to Cigar City.
Okay.
But Cigar City wasn't seating indoors.
Yeah.
And if you look back behind the stadium, you've got all these ugly looking clouds that are like rolling in. I'm like, man, we are going to get drenched.
Yeah, it poured that day. I remember.
So but the thing was, if we had stayed, we'd have been fine, because it didn't end up raining until later on that night. So we were like, okay, so we're going to go and find another place. As we were walking downtown, you saw everybody had on Lightning jerseys.
Oh, for sure. Even people who aren't a big fan of sports are getting Tampa Bay gear just because, it's popular now.
That's right.
You got to be in fashion.
That's right. And speaking of fashion, Smack Apparel, smackapparel.com. That's where you need to go.
Apparel is killing the game right now with the Tampa Bay Lightning jerseys. If y'all haven't seen Twitter for Tampa Bay Lightning, almost every single one of the Tampa Bay Lightning players at the boat parade were wearing Smack Apparel shirts.
That's right.
It's absolutely amazing. I am just it's awesome.
It is supporting local, and just keep in mind, Smack Apparel is in Tampa. It's located in Tampa. They do a lot of work outside of the Bay Area, but if you get a chance and you want to get a shirt, support local, because
of course
the owner and the people all contribute back to the community, and I think that is the biggest part of all this, is the fact that they're able to do that.
Yeah, for sure. And what was I going to say? Oh, I've seen so many people have been posting all over Twitter and Facebook about all these knockoff shirts.
Yeah.
And I'm literally going to war for them. Buy local, buy the real deal. Don't buy this cheap knockoff stuff.
Yeah, the bots from China. Yeah, I've seen that. I've been reporting them.
Yeah, I've been reporting, blocking, telling people buy the real deal.
Yeah, and there are people that have printed out shirts, and I see somebody else comes up with another design, and I'm like, wow, you can't do that.
Yeah, it's like the same exact thing, but one thing is different,
Right. So yeah, again, we gotta look out for our people.
Yeah, our peeps,
Right. Smack Apparel has been nothing good to us, so. So
yeah.
Impressed.
I've been letting them cool down a little bit, get all their orders out of the way, and then I'll be like, all right. Yeah. I want my Lightning shirt now.
That's right. That is right. What's the code for Smack Apparel? You know what? I don't have it in front of me. Will the Brewer, I will get that for you.
I think they have it. Let me look.
There's a buck what you heard when somewhere.
I think they came out with a Lightning one. Let me look.
Oh, look, it's Jameis 1 of 1.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, for real. It's really him.
Where?
In the chat.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Hey there.
So Christopher Cole, what's going on? But yeah, it's just it's great. In Glock we trust. Women rule the world. Watch women's basketball. Enough said. Hey, I'm telling you what, man, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I don't know what we're gonna see from the men's basketball team based on what they did in exhibition. I know it's exhibition. I know people are gonna tell me it's exhibition, but we've seen teams in the past just blow out everybody. But when Nigeria is supposed to lose
Ooh,
by 30 and they win the way they did, that's a problem.
absolutely.
And the thing is, and you know about basketball, these
Right. I'm not a big basketball fan, but I know the game.
these
I mean,
teams,
I was a big Magic fan back when the Magic were really good.
so the thing is, they're more fun. These teams around the world are more fundamentally sound. They're not
Yes, absolutely.
they're not out there looking for dunks or they're out there to win the game and play collectively as a team.
Yeah, so it's going to be a completely different competition. It's not all about ego and like
Right.
who's getting the most sponsorships and stuff. These guys are playing for country because that's a big deal in a lot of these countries,
Mm-hmm.
especially like third world or second world countries.
Mm-hmm.
If you're an athlete and you bring home a medal, you are a god in your country's
think
eyes.
about it. Nigeria, they were celebrating that they beat the U.S. in an exhibition game because that realistically was not supposed to happen. And then Australia turns around and does the same thing. But I was talking with Ruth about it, and I don't know. I think they're missing a big.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I have the Smack Apparel discount code. Everybody ready? It's Lightning 2021. Lightning 2021. You'll get 21% off.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Can't go wrong with that.
Yep, so that'll be good. Everybody get your Smack Apparel shirts. Do not get the cheap knockoffs.
Yep. Don't go somewhere where there's there's only the picture of the shirt and there's nothing else there. Yeah, you want to make sure you get it from Smack Apparel. They appreciate it. And like I said, you're purchasing local, so it's all gonna be good.
Yeah. Watch out for those like the side of the road places too with the tents up. Those places sketchy.
Yeah, most definitely. Watch women rule the world. Watch women's basketball. Enough said. There you go.
Yep, that's definitely something that Ruth would say.
Yeah, I know. And the thing is, we were talking about that, and we were going back and forth. She thinks that there's nothing wrong with the team, and they could eventually end up winning gold. KB, I bet KB a steak dinner that the U.S. they won't win gold.
The U.S. women's.
The men's team.
No, definitely not. I don't know. Yeah, they definitely will.
I'm looking at like Argentina is fundamentally sound, and I mean, you look at how they pass the ball and they play as a collective unit, find open shots, and a lot of these players are not really used to international rules, and I think that factors a big part in it too.
Right.
How they adjust to international.
It's rules. A little bit different. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So. And old school fan, like in the 80s and 90s, exactly. But Christopher Cole, if you go back to the 80s and 90s, they were passing the ball. They weren't. It was more fundamentally sound. They were taking mid-range jumpers. I mean, your big man was incorporated into your offense a lot more than what you see now. And
it's very one-dimensional now. You do what you do best, but like back then, everybody contributed to everything. So. It's become kind of, I don't know. It's become a strange sport, honestly.
Yeah, and again, when you look at their lineup, I don't know. I just don't. I see teams that you don't need 5 superstars on the floor. You need some guys that are all going to play together and play consistent, and you can come out winning. So, guys, you know what? We do have a shirt to give away, and you know what? It doesn't have to be a Buck shirt; it could be a Lightning shirt.
Any Smack Apparel shirt that you would like.
Yep. So let me put the phone number up here. All right. And hold on one second. Let me. You know me. I'm always ill prepared.
I know.
You know how it is. Oh yeah. So after we do this, if we can get somebody to call in, after we do this, we will let's see here. All right. Yeah. And you see the phone number up here, 813-35.
Yeah, give us a call. We'll play the 60-second Smackdown where we ask you 10 questions. And there's no right or wrong answer. It's just kind of your...
That's the trick. People want to talk and explain their answer.
Yeah, don't explain it. Just right off the bat. We can talk about it later, afterwards.
Yeah, just rattle it off and get it out there.
I just want to know your quick opinion. That's all.
That's right. And this week's questions are brought to you by Christina, Tampa Sports Bae.
Yes, and they're all over the league. It's not just the Bucks because, there's not much going on right now, and there's a lot going on across the NFL. And so if you answer all the questions in 60 seconds, you get your very own Smack Apparel t-shirt.
Did you get it? Did you see the John Lynch Hall of Fame shirt?
Yes, I did get one of those ones.
Oh, you got one. Yes. We've got to wear them. We have to wear them.
Okay, we will wear them.
For the Hall of Fame game, the week of the Hall of Fame game, we'll wear our John Lynch Smack Apparel.
We will wear them. You all have to remind me.
We'll coordinate.
Yes, of course.
And, thanks for the hat, by the way. Every time I see this hat, I think about who hooked me up. I appreciate you.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Again, that phone number, 813-358-8154. You have an opportunity to win a Smack Apparel t-shirt. It doesn't have to be the Tampa Bay Bucks. It could be the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Could be any, yeah.
I don't care about any other teams, but it could be any other teams too. So, just get in there. A lot of shirts to choose from, especially.
Yeah, they don't just do Tampa Bay. I mean, obviously, you should support Tampa Bay Sports, but they do it everything.
That's right. So, let's see. Misador, you're always in the chat, and I appreciate you for that. You can always call in, and we can get you on here, and we could talk about it. Let's see. Do I have my? I know. But I know this is kind of a. We're coming down. The good thing right now, folks, is we're winding down, and we're starting to get ready for camp. July 25th, right? Right?
Yes, we have to be.
July 25th is where we can actually start talking about football. We're not
almost there.
Okay, hold on. Here we go. All right, here we go. All right, you are live on Buck What You Heard. Who we talking with?
Good evening, kids. This is Will the Brewer.
Will the Brewer.
What's up, Will?
Are you in Paris?
No, I'm back. My brother's out there right now.
Oh, wow, man. How'd you like Paris?
It was good. I took my kids out, 17 and 20. So, they got to drink a little bit with me. It was pretty fun.
It's always a good thing.
Lots of walking. They just opened up the Eiffel Tower today, so we missed that. And my brother's out there, so he went to Bastille Day, and he's going to be there for the end of the Tour de France.
So how you had to wear a mask you had to wear a mask international. So you had
yes, correct. And a lot of people, we always wore our mask just walking around. A lot of people did.
Uh-huh.
I just feel more comfortable doing it, personally.
You've gotten used to it.
Yeah.
So what is the beer? What was your favorite beer while you were over there? I have to ask this question.
There were some pretty good little craft breweries that were out there, and I just grabbed single bottles here and there. I didn't have like a go-to craft brewery, but man, some of the glassware was beautiful. All the embossed, letters and numbers and all that, just the stemware. I wanted to steal so many glasses.
I know what you mean, man. We went to Mexico, and we went to Tequila, Mexico, and smash, man. I was drinking tequila. I am not even lying. They had this. We went in this restaurant, and they had a little thing on the side, and they're like, "Hey, I want you to come in. You want to come in and sample some tequila?" So the surgeon I was with, the doctor I was with, he's like, yeah, come on, let's go in here and try some different tequila. And it was crazy. We were just hanging out, man. It's just so good to get out and travel after being in case for a whole year, you know?
Yeah. And yeah, it's the first time I've been out there in, 20 some years. My dad's French.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And, he used to live out, and my mom and dad lived in Paris. But he moved back to the U.S. to take care of his parents, and so he's down in St. Pete now. But he still gets out there once a year. So we just went and stayed with him for a week each. But my dad's the one with the Bucks tickets and all that. So
okay, there you go. So did you enjoy it? I mean, would you go back?
Oh yeah, if I could afford it. It's not. Man, Paris is not cheap.
Yeah, I know. We're trying to go to Portugal in December, so we'll see how that all pans out.
Yeah, I've never been to Portugal.
Yeah, I love it. If I could live there, I would live there. True story. I mean, it's just it was just amazing. We spent 3 weeks there in Portugal and went from Lisbon. We went all over Sinatra. We went just everywhere you could pretty much go. We missed all the big waves and stuff, but just the history there, and it was incredible. We learned a lot. Went to this place called the Chapel of Bones, and it's a Catholic. I want to say I'm not a monastery. It's more like it's almost like a cathedral. And when you go in,
right,
the interior of this thing is all made out of bones. It's crazy.
Wow.
And it was so funny. I will kind of get back to sports here in just a second. But and we do have another co-host.
Yeah, co-host. This is Baby Bae.
Baby Bae.
This is my niece. She was screaming and crying, so I was like, I gotta
give her a job. Bring her on.
Yep. She's a Bucks fan from birth. So
there you go. You that's the only way to raise a kid right there. This is awesome. She's gonna remember this the rest of her life.
The next generation of women's sports.
There you go.
Absolutely. She's Baby Bae. She's gonna take over.
So so we went in there, we went in this place, and there was a kid. She was from they were from Wyoming. And her parents didn't tell her that when they go into this place, it's just nothing but skull and bones and everything on the wall. And so this girl walks into the cathedral and she freaks out. She just freezes and she just has this meltdown. And she just her grandma has to take her outside and then tell her that this is what you're going to see in here. So it was kind of messed up, but the place was cool. The place was really cool.
Yeah, it's just like the catacombs in Paris.
Yes, exactly. That's what it would remind you of that. Only skulls and bones and stuff across the walls and stuff. It's wild. So, what do you think about this season, man? What are your predictions? I want to hear your NFC South predictions.
Oh, they're going to win the division this year.
So you have to go down the list here. I mean, so
we're second, third, worst.
Make the playoffs last year. So they are going to win the division this year.
Okay, you got that.
I'm thinking 12 and wait, it's another game now, right?
Yeah,
so it's not 12 and 4
now.
13 and 4. 13 and 4.
I can see that.
Really? Okay.
And that's being realistic. They
could
being,
realistic, conservative.
They could win more, which I could see them winning more, and we wouldn't be wrong saying that. Again, health plays a huge factor in all this. So with the NFC South, who do you like? I mean, is it the Bucks, then who?
I think the Saints are probably going to still stick at second. And yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with Atlanta or Carolina this year. I don't know with what they drafted, with how much they're going to improve.
Yeah,
I would think they'd both be better than last year, but
yeah, I've got and this is just me right here. I've got Tampa, I've got New Orleans, Carolina, and Atlanta. Not because I hate Atlanta or anything like that, but you've got a new head coach.
You do, but
yeah,
you do. But
I do hate them. But they are also the
Hold on,
worst.
okay. I think people are discounting what Matt Rule can do. I just think that Atlanta, I could see Carolina improving from what they've done last year, and so like I said, I've got it: Tampa, the Saints, Carolina, and Atlanta.
I would say the same for me as well.
Not out of spite because I hate Atlanta and all that. Didn't have anything to do
Just because
with
they're not good.
So, they who knows, they may impress us. We don't know, but just based on what I'm seeing, I don't know. Johnny Dean says
Right.
Johnny Dean says the Bucks, Saints, Falcons, Panthers. So we have the bottom two swap.
Yeah.
All right.
So do you want an opportunity? You haven't won a shirt yet, have you?
I have not.
And that is great. Shame on you for not calling in sooner, but it's worked out.
I don't know. How have you not won a shirt?
Well, I know you're you're the OG. Will the Brewer?
I think I was your first caller.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. You called. It's just been a while.
My timing is off. My timing is off.
That's all it is. My timing's always off. So don't feel bad.
And then I called after the Super Bowl. I called after the Super Bowl and I was hammered. So.
Oh yeah, weren't we all? All right. So let me get this all set up here, and you know how it works. We got
in a good way.
And these
60
questions.
seconds.
These questions are so easy.
Yeah.
You cannot lose this. There's no way you can lose this. So let me get my. Okay, I don't know if you're watching, if you can see, I've got the clock up here, so I'm not cheating. People have accused me of doing some unsavory things in the game here, and I just want this to be above board.
I'm just listening. I'm on the phone, so I'm just listening.
Okay, all right. So then everybody else will call me out if that's not the case.
All right, let's go. You got 60 seconds on the clock.
All right, here we go. So I'm going to ask you the first question, and then we will get around to. I'll start the clock. Okay.
Right, sounds good.
All right. Will Aaron Rodgers stay with the Packers or leave?
Leave.
Rojo or Fournette, starting running back?
Rojo.
Mac Jones or Cam Newton, starting quarterback?
Jones.
Tua, boom or bust?
Boom.
Deshaun Watson to the Eagles, buy or sell?
Sell.
Taysom Hill or Winston, starting quarterback? Who you got?
Winston.
All right. The Bucks go back-to-back, buy or sell?
Buy.
O.J. Howard will be a Buck in 2022, buy or sell?
Sell.
Warwick Dunn or Doug Martin, who you got?
Work done.
Atlanta or Carolina, who's the better team?
Atlanta.
You killed it, man. You killed it with 6 seconds to spare. So what we're going to do, Will, is I'll give you my email address. It's buckwhatyouheard@gmail.com. Give me your mailing information. Shoot that over to me, and I got you. Go out to Smack Apparel. Look at their shirts. See if you want a Lightning shirt or if you want a Bucks shirt. The Beatdown in the Bay shirt is probably the most popular one, and everybody wants.
I want the Beatdown. I want the beat. I want the Beatdown.
All right, we got you. I got you covered, my friend. I promise. So we will get
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
I'll get that shirt out to you. Again, thank you so much for playing, man. Smack Apparel loves this, that we can get these shirts out, man. And people look at the shirt like, man, where'd you get the shirt at? You can just let them know, smackapparel.com.
Yeah.
I can't wait to show it to my Chiefs buddy.
There you go. Make sure you take pride, man.
Definitely. Just call him up and be like, yo, let's go hang out, and then just wear it randomly, just to shove it in his face.
There you go. Because they're not
so he and I had a bet. I'm also a Mets fan in baseball, and he and I had a bet on the Kansas City Mets World Series.
Uh-huh.
And the loser had to get their legs waxed.
Ouch.
So,
ooh,
yeah, that was good fun.
Oh my! Listen, I've never had anything waxed, but we were doing something, and when I was in college, and I got like tied down, and somebody put tape over my mouth. And when they ripped the tape off, it just ripped all the hair off of my face. And I was, and that, I couldn't imagine getting your legs waxed at all. That's just ridiculous.
Yep. What happened when your team loses?
Exactly.
Yep.
You got to get him back.
Don't be a losing team.
This will feel good.
Exactly.
Don't be a losing team. That's the moral of the story.
That's right. So yeah, you could do a backflip in the regular season, but you get the deuces at the end of the season.
Right.
There you go.
And yeah, hey, I was still tuned in from Paris, so
man,
I love following you guys.
I appreciate that, man. You're a friend of the show, and you're always welcome to call in. I'd like to get you on for a longer period of time at some point when I know you're always working, brewing beer,
definitely
coming up with beer formulas.
We need to I'm at the brewery right now, and I'm drinking a brown ale. So,
dude, we need to come up with a Buck What You Heard beer.
You gotta get with a brewer. Yeah, make your own beer.
I know you can't do it, but you could kind of like come up with something. You kind of sneak something in.
It would definitely be a red ale.
I
like it.
So for the Buck, color,
red and pewter.
I don't know how I'm gonna do the pewter.
Definitely a red ale. I like it.
I think a red ale would work. I could see it. I legit could see it. So David Mosier. So any final thoughts before I let you go, Will? Thank you again for calling in, man. You didn't have to do that, and I appreciate you, putting forth the effort and winning a shirt, crushing the contest, winning over 6 seconds the way you did. Amazing.
That was very fast. No.
Well, because I thought about the way other people do it, because I wanted to
exactly.
When you asked about Winston, and I was just like, well, you just talked about Taysom Hill being a weapon, so I didn't need to explain that. You already explained it. So all I had to do was just say Winston.
Yeah.
So I don't have to.
That's the whole thing.
And it's all your opinion, basically.
Yeah, and people have to people want to stop and justify why they came up with what they did. You don't have to.
Yeah.
That's the whole trick right there.
Okay, I'm getting a shirt.
That's right. And you got a shirt out of it, man. And again, just tell people, when you get a chance to, hey, where'd you get that shirt? Tune in to Buck What You Heard, or you call in, you can win a shirt too. I mean, you don't have to be a Bucks fan. You could be a Miami Dolphins fan. I mean, I look at Ramona Kay out here, who's a Miami tried and true Miami Dolphins fan, Miami Hurricane. She's all about the U, and she could call in and win a shirt. So,
of course.
It just doesn't matter what your team is. But man, thank you so much for calling in. You're greatly appreciated. Like I said, email me at buckwhatyouheard@gmail.com. I'll get your information and I'll get that taken care of.
Sounds great. And then later on we'll talk about when we're going to go down to Tampa and tailgate.
Yeah, and speaking of, there is this game, QB 54. I don't know if you've seen it. I don't know if you got to see me live make a fool out of myself when I was in Tampa trying to throw a pass, and it looked like it was getting rain. But there's this game. Google it, QB 54. Next time I'm in Tampa, we will have the game out there, and I will be giving people a chance to win a free shirt. The cool thing about it is it's better than cornhole. And I know that might be hard for people to believe, but I love it better than cornhole because you can kick a field goal, you can throw a pass and get a touchdown, and it's just a fun game. And it just takes maybe 5 minutes to put together.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're going to have to pick a game and do a Buck What You Heard tailgate.
Yep. There we go. It's going to be great, man.
Yep.
So,
I'm
listen, definitely.
I'm taking the Buffalo game.
Oh, wow.
I'm definitely
tailgating.
I'm definitely tailgating the Buffalo game, if not going to the game. Yeah. I will be in the middle of the Bills crowd in my jersey, and I fully intend on smashing a table.
We've got to get video on this.
I fully intend on doing it.
We've got to get video of this. This has to happen.
It will happen. Don't worry.
There we go. And Willie Graham got his Smack Apparel t-shirt, another winner. You come on here, you call in, you can win. You will win.
It's not that hard.
Sometimes I cheat to help people win. That's the kind of person I am. But you didn't need help, my friend. You beat that with.
You knew what you were doing. You knew the assignment, and you got an A.
There we go.
Hey.
All right,
guys.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you're back stateside, man. Stay in touch with me. We'll figure out what game we're going to tailgate because I am going to go to at least 2 home games this year. So nice. We're going to make it happen.
All right, guys. Everyone enjoy the weekend.
All right, my friend.
You as well.
All right.
Bye.
Hey. Bye.
This is awesome, man. When you're able to do stuff like this is great. I can't believe we've been over an hour, and I know you got like semi-parenting duties that you have to get to.
I know I got auntie duties to do.
Auntie duty, I should say that. It's preparing you for parenting duties, at some point or whatever. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. I want to thank everybody that contributed in the chat. You guys are awesome. Willie Graham, thank you so much. I'm glad you won your shirt. I don't think I've gotten a picture of you with your shirt yet, but I would like to.
We gotta get it.
Yeah, we got to get that so I can share that with Smack Apparel, and I will make sure to add you here on. It'll either be on Instagram or Twitter. I'll figure out a way so we can let everybody know that you support the Buccaneers, you support Smack Apparel, and that's greatly appreciated.
Or buck what you heard at the end of the day.
There we go. And guys, keep this in mind. There will be. I'm working with Tampa Bay here. We are working on a Buck What You Heard t-shirt, and Smack Apparel is working with us, and we're going to come up with these shirts, and we're going to give them out to people that live.
Yeah, so when we go to tailgates, everybody be repping Buck What You Heard.
There we go. It's going to be dope. I kind of like our little logo here, Buck What You Heard, with you on one side, me on the other side. I like that. You can make that happen. But anyway,
sure, definitely.
All right. Well, anyway, we are out of here. I know I'm going to let you get back to your weekend. Thank you for taking time to hang out with us. That's always greatly appreciated. Without you listeners, without people contributing to the chat, like Ramona K, who's not a Bucks fan, but she listens anyway, Willie Graham winning a shirt, Will the Brewer winning a shirt. You guys are the reason that we're able to do this. So thank you all very much. You're greatly appreciated. And we're going to go ahead and roll out of here. Peace.
All right. See ya, everyone.